Hello peeps, we're back to the gratuitous foot shot again. Somebody asked me, it was either in one of Pop Scrap's live feeds, or it could have been Scrapping Irish, or it could have been a dream I had, I don't know. Somebody asked me how to take the kinks out of cable before running it through the cable stripper. Well, it doesn't get all the kinks out, but basically I stand on it and just pull it through under my shoe. And it pretty much, as I say, it doesn't take all the kinks out because I haven't done that bit yet, but it takes most of the sharp kinks out of it. You could run it through a piece of wood, pull it through, or you could just stand on it, pull it through under your shoe. So it works better with rubber shoes. Try not to crease it up after you've done it, but it takes most of the sharp creases out of it where you've had it rolled up. I mean, there's one there, but that's now straight enough to get through the wire machine, hopefully. And I'm going to put my neck on the line here. Well, not my neck on the line. I would say I put my reputation on the line, but I don't have a reputation other than being a bit of a gobshite. So, how about we see if this works? Give it a little strip on the end just to get it going. In the wire stripper. Do the usual. Get it feeding, get the speed right and the pulling at the same time, and then untangle it as you go, because you shouldn't be bothered to do it because you're rushing to make a video. See, none of this is scripted, it's all done live and in, you know, straight out of my brain to my mouth. Well, actually it's usually out of my mouth into my brain, and I normally say, I said what? But as you can see, it's running through fine, and this was wound up quite tight. Now back to the beginning. You can always tell if you've cut it enough because the insulation will spin around the inner core, but for some reason these things never start off 100%, and there you go. You saw that ran through the cable stripper quite easily. There was quite a few kinks in it beforehand. You don't have to take the kinks completely out, you just have to take out the major really strong kinks. As I say, pulling it through under your shoe like that, it just straightens it out enough. So, I hope you didn't check out my bald spot then. I just bent over in front of the camera. It takes out just enough of the kinks to make it run through the stripper. The stripper doesn't mind sort of waviness, but what it doesn't like is sharp kinks from where you've, you know, when you wrap it around your, when you wrap it around your arm like that, you always end up with a kink at this end and a kink at that end. And that's what the stripper doesn't like, those tight kinks. As you'll see as it comes along, you'll get the odd, there's a kink coming along now, see it? See it? See how the stripper hesitated? Doesn't like tight kinks. So, again, there one come through, but as long as you keep a bit of a pulling action on it as it comes through. And there's a kink at the end. See, give it a little tug. You can see how sharp that kink was, and it stalled the machine. Didn't like it. So if you can get out any sharp kinks, I mean, you can pull them through the machine. The trouble is this wire is so small that it, as I said to you before on my review of this, it doesn't grip very small wire because it's not knurled all the way down to the bottom of the pulley. So if it gets to a kink, it will start to slip. So taking those kinks out by drawing it under your shoe, you can drill a hole in a piece of wood, draw it through the piece of wood if you want. I haven't got a decent workbench in this garage, so I can't put a clamp on it or a vice on it to hold the wood in to pull it through. And to be perfectly honest, doing it by hand just gives me blisters, and I do enough by hand that gives me blisters anyway. Ta-ra peeps. Well, just before I go today peeps, I'm going to show you what I've been up to all week. That bag there. I've stripped all the wiring that was in that bin. That's next week's wiring to strip. There's about, I don't know, 10 kilos there, something like that. To be perfectly honest, it saves space more than it makes money. The money they give you for singles, when you work out the fact that you're only getting 70% of the weight back in copper, they're only paying you 70% of the spot price of copper, so basically they shred it for nothing. So it's not really worth the money buying that, but it's fun and it saves on space. That bag there was an entire dustbin full of that. And that dustbin that's under there is now full up with my copper. Right, last night, I'd like to show you what PPE. This is what I picked up last night. Let's see if I can shed some light on the subject. A load of these new, brand new, because as I say, as you can see, most of them are boxed. Wall lights. I think they're called bulkhead lights. Still sealed. No cables running to them. Brand new. If anybody is in the, they're all 240 obviously. If anybody is in the Hertfordshire, Essex area and wants some bulkhead lights, give me a shout.